Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. A quick update on many things that are happening, many truths, half-truths and lies also being peddled. I wanted to just make sure that I relate to you all the different things that I know for fact and those that are basically disinformation and misinformation to try and throw people off the scent. First of all, that the Iran's enriched nuclear material is lying under 230 meters below Abbottabad. I think that's a bald-faced lie. India's intelligence is extremely good in Pakistan. They know exactly where each gram of nuclear material is, so they will not have missed like that. If they wanted to, they could have taken that out too. For example, 𝗤𝗏𝗄𝗏 Khan, place where 𝗤𝗏𝗄𝗏 Khan, I think that's the place. There are three places with similar names. There's a Dera and there is a Khan, because three sons each got parcels of land from the father, and that was where there was a nuclear storage dump, and that was taken out, I think, about a year or 2 years ago, and nobody could really figure out who did it. So India is very closely monitoring what is happening in Pakistan in terms of where Pakistan is moving its nuclear materials. India knows exactly where each pigeon is buried. In fact, you saw all these small explosions take place in Karachi. Wonder who was causing all that stuff. So far, nobody has claimed responsibility, not even the BLA. So things, but there are 2.52, 2.53, these kinds of seismic readings that are coming from underneath the city of Karachi. So these are all things that are happening. So first of all, let me tell you, has Iran stashed its enriched uranium? I think yes, some part of it has been stashed away, because that's what the United States Vice President J.K. Vance admitted the last 24 hours. Because so far, I would take the United States word for it, because the whole objective of bombing the hell out of Fordow and Natanz and Isfahan was to make sure that the nuclear program of Iran is completely defined. Like the good general said yesterday, the capacity to enrich might be severely derailed now. So they have to start from ground one. It will take years to reconstruct some of these things. For example, General Ravi Shankar said that in, I think, Natanz, 2,000 centrifuges were working. 2,000 centrifuges were working. And I would say that perhaps a similar number was there in Fordow also. So these things tell you that the infrastructure to enrich uranium is probably damaged forever. And that would take eons to get it. And since United States has started keeping close tabs on what Iran is doing, they will make sure that anything that goes towards manufacturing these things, again, they will be able to keep a very close eye. So I would say that moving forward, unless Iran mends its ways and says, okay, we will not enrich uranium. I know some of you will say, how come there are 7 or 8 people who are in this nuclear club and the others are not being allowed entry? Well, the problem is that you have to use it for peaceful purposes. You can have nuclear bomb, but if you use the enrichment for peaceful purposes, nobody has a problem. For example, there is a water reactor in Iran that is supplying electricity, and that has not been touched either by Israel nor by United States. So there is a method to this madness. You have to go back and look at it in a little bit more depth and detail. Also, you should remember that there was a program called Atoms for Peace. Atoms for Peace. You know who did that? Israel did. And to whom? Iran. They helped Iran with its initial baby steps for their nuclear program. So these are all friends turned foes. Each one knows a little bit of what the other one is up to, and we still don't know where the enriched uranium rods are, or whatever form and shape they are in. We think that China might have helped them to move it. People were showing trucks moving 48 hours before Fordow. I don't think so. Unfortunately or fortunately, this Fordow, attacking Fordow has been, broadcast rather loudly by US and Israel. So whatever they wanted to do, they could have done it much ahead. It's also believed that Israel itself initially did a fair amount of damage. They used 500 kilo bombs to at least take out some sections of Fordow. So between that and the huge bombing that took place, people were saying that they could hear the aftershocks as far out as Tehran and beyond. So the damage has been quite extensive. The infrastructure is decimated. Whether there are some remnants of enriched uranium and what level of enrichment have they undergone, that is also an unknown. So there is something there. I'm sure people will come to the bottom of it, and this is not so easy to transport, by the way, viewers. It will be caught once you know that there is something. This is like searching for a needle in a haystack, but once you know that there is something being hidden, it's a matter of time before that comes out. By the way, the president's resignation now comes out, turns out that that was a fake letter again. So this is misinformation. Just like Iran is claiming that they have put their enriched uranium under 𝗣𝗚𝗏𝗏, and especially since Iran is probably fuming at Pakistan for hunting with the hounds and running with the hares. I mean, one day their failed marshal nominates, as if he has a say in this, nominates President Trump for the Nobel Prize, and the next day condemns United States for its strike against Iran. Make up your mind which direction do you want to be. So this is all for public consumption, for the local consumption. Well, they'll play it up, but also there's debate on how many people were there in that meeting. One side says that it was a one-on-one private meeting, and the other side says that no, this is Dawn newspaper. I'll put that link. In fact, I have that link. I'll put that link so you can read and go in through the details. And because that says that from the Pakistani side, the NSA or the ISI chief, you can choose whichever name because both are one and the same. The other Asim Malik was also present. So this is where things stand as far as that is concerned. Then after the attack, Iran said that it is going to blockade the Straits of Hormuz. I have this thing as of 1 hour ago, the latest one. Between early Sunday and early Monday, that is in the last 12 to 16 hours, 6 vessels, at least 6 vessels, 2 large crude carriers, 3 chemical tankers, and 1 refined products carriers diverted their courses away from the Straits of Hormuz. Now, these are, first one is 𝗤𝙜𝗏𝗏. It's a Norway flag. It departed from Pakistan's Qasim port on June 20th and was heading towards Ruwais in Abu Dhabi. Second one is South Loyalty, Marshall Islands flag, departed from South Korea. So you can see the list of things here. Each one, different countries' flag. There are a couple more countries, Panama, UK, and so on and so forth. But this was as of 16 hours ago. Situation has evolved since then. 3 of these 6 vessels, the South Loyalty, Coast, Wisdom Lake, and 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏, have again changed direction and are heading back towards the Straits of Hormuz. So the situation is changing. It's fluid and it's changing. And there are many UK, US warships that are waiting there to make sure that if there is any congestion created, that they can take it out. So at this point of time, there is a lot of misinformation game being played between the 2 countries. So wait for the dust to settle. What I would go by is, why would the United States Vice President J.D. Vance say that they have been unable to stop the enrichment uranium from moving out of the Fordow facility? So this is the only admission that US has made. So we have to see. So if it was taken out, there are satellite pictures that can go back ages, so they can go back and trace it. This is not simple. Like I said, if something was moved, when was it moved? Was it moved months ahead? If it was moved months ahead, then the enrichment grade will be little bit less. You need the stealth of an operating facility like Fordow, 300 meters or 250 meters, whatever the number is, below the ground. So nobody knows outside what is going on. So this is going to require some more sleuthing work. And until that happens, Iran could be playing this game. Also, Iran could be, saying, okay, you think you can lie, we can lie too. So let each one, come up with more and more outrageous statements, but at the end of the day, you have to see what the action is happening. So at this time, the Straits of Hormuz appear to be back on again, like they are operating again. Again, it's a very fluid situation. I don't want to say that yes, it's back open. Iran has only one card left, which is to try and block the Straits of Hormuz. Unfortunately for them, if they block that, they are spiting their own nose, and they're also spiting the nose of their biggest benefactor, which is People's Republic of China. In PRC, we don't know who's running the show. Many people are saying that it is 3 students of Hu Jintao, but again, the dust is still settling on that one. We will give you an update as soon as we have it. Wang Yang is supposed to be the Secretary General, but Xi Jinping hasn't ceded his spot. So what is going on there? Who wants what? I think Wang Yang is 70 years old. He may be thinking that, do I want to take up this post? And there has been some reluctance, but he's considered a more moderate face. So the CCP at this point of time needs to present a kinder, gentler face to the world, so that people will say, okay, fine, we can start doing business with China again. So that's the only update I have. Now, is Pakistan helping and hurting Iran at the same time? I think not. Pakistan still has to, play by some rules. The United States has told them, they have read them, the Riot Act. I'm inclined to believe that it was a one-on-one meeting and that there were personal matters exchanged. Trump wants to do some business from his family side with Pakistan, all this blockchain-based stuff to distribute the wealth that would be generated from Balochistan mines, completely forgetting that China has invested a lot of money. They've already given billions to Pakistan to allow them to mine and take it out. And some parts have been attempted, but Balochis are not allowing any extraction. Will the Balochis turn against the United States? And how many body bags of United States soldiers will try to enforce the law to try and say, look, we have the agreement, we are going to do it, we'll have to return before US gives up? The story is still still to begin, and it is a messy situation. Plus, how much is actually there? That's also another question mark, and what is there is also another question mark. So stay tuned. That is something that will play itself out in the days and weeks to come. That's all I have. I just wanted to give you an update. Sumit Mir will be joining us at 10 o'clock. Ask Sumit is on a little bit pushed out, and he'll be doing it alone, guest hosting it also. Unfortunately, I have another commitment to do. So please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Let me see if you have any questions here. Yeah, you have a few questions here. Let me just line them up before... Okay. Thank you, Sanjay, for your super sticker. I'm sorry, I'm using my peripheral vision to turn some things on. I didn't mean any disrespect. All right. There are 2 questions. Let me just go quickly through them. First question is from... Chaitanya Takle has this question. Will USA prevent Iran from blockading the Strait of Hormuz? Like I said, Chaitanya, it looked like some ships had stopped and turned away, but then in the recent last few hours, they have regained their course through the Straits of Hormuz. So it is not blocked. According to many, it is still not blocked. Again, just wait for some more information before we can really say that, look, it's open. Lakshan wants to know, Islamic Republic of Iran versus Secular Republic of Iran, Reza Pahlavi. This is the underlying issue. What are underlining issue? What are the seculars like Pappu saying? Pappu you think Pappu has that kind of wisdom to dispense to the world about what what Iran should be doing? I doubt it. And like many of us have opined, Pahlavi may not be the right solution. There may have to be something else. We have to wait and see. See, the regime change, that sort of stuff happens slowly as well as sometimes quickly. That tipping point, where the tipping point is not something that you and I can determine sitting outside. It has to come from within. And first thing that needs to happen is the internet has to be turned on again inside Iran. That is still down. That is the first situation, step saying that there are people not willing to listen to the clergy, and they are saying that, okay, normalcy has to return. This is a very literate country. They want to know what is going on. and Starlink doesn't have a presence yet in Iran, and for that again they have to go back and negotiate with the people in authority, and they probably don't want Starlink to come in and start setting up shop. So this is where things stand. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.